What the hell do we think it means? Yeah, I got chills again. Mama sold her daughter to pedophiles.
Today, this is going to be a controversial topic for many of us, and that's the topic of psychics and true crime. More narrowly, psychics and the Summer Wells case. The information offered in this video, other than publicly known facts, is not based on my personal opinion, but of my interpretation of Reverend Donna Seraphina's readings on Summer Wells. This is not an endorsement on psychics, but is given to you for information purposes only. You are free to form your own opinion. And as with everything in our lives, always be kind in your comments and do your best to avoid spreading rumors that can have the potential lifelong effects of destroying an innocent person's life. On February 4th, 2016, with almost white hair and bright blue eyes, the little bossy sister to three brothers, Summer Moon Utah Wells, was born in what would turn out to be a cruel and evil world, a literal hell on earth. As it would be less than 5.5 years later, from her family's hilled and rugged land and those same exact hollers of Rogersville, Tennessee, that she was born into, that she would go missing without a trace. At around 6:30 p.m., June 15, 2021, a 911 call was placed to the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. The caller was identified as Donald Wells, father of little Summer Moon Utah Wells.
You've been around for 110 Ben Hill Road off of Beach Creek. Should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in, advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
An endangered child alert was issued for her later that night. Less than 24 hours later, at 11:08 a.m. on Wednesday, June 16, 2021, and according to TBI, due to new information and growing concern, an Amber Alert was sent out. Yet there was no vehicle or abductor description, as most always is given. She had simply vanished from 110 Ben Hill Road, Rogersville, Tennessee. In the 13 days to follow that 911 call, drones would be flown, helicopters would circle the skies, and divers would swim the muggy waters. All in all, 1,194 searchers from across 120 agencies, not including command staff, logistics, TBI, or FBI, and from 6 different states, had converged together and searched over 3,000 acres of treacherous land and terrain in the hot and stifling Tennessee summer weather. On June 27, 2021, after a cost of over $500,000 to the small rural sheriff's department, and with absolutely no evidence to provide the community of her whereabouts, law enforcement made the very tough decision to scale back all search efforts. As of the date of this upload, Summer Wells has been missing for 8 months. And according to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, there are no suspects. No one is ruled out, and everyone involved is a person of interest.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson tells me everything is on the tables. Investigators are not ruling out an abduction or that she might have walked away from her home. Their only goal is to find Summer, but they're saying it's difficult with circulating rumors on social media.
In my position and my detectives, everywhere we go, everybody wants to share their opinion, which is, we understand that. But 99.9% of things that people are posting or saying, we've already looked into and taken care of.
Lawson says anyone living in roughly 5-mile radius of the Beach Creek community should look at their trail or security camera footage again from the day Summer disappeared.
And sometimes people will think, well, I saw that, but it probably wouldn't mean anything. But the least little thing to us may be something huge. So that's why we ask for the public, everything they see, to continue to check their property, their outbuildings and different things like that.
What kind of a toll has this taken on your department?
Mentally, physically, and emotionally. A lot of my officers have small children. They have grandchildren, and we know what goes through our mind if that would be our child or grandchild. And plus, us spending so much time at Beach Creek for 3 weeks, but my office never stopped. We're still answering all the same amount of calls, still, bringing people to jail, investigating other cases. and it just wires you out.
Investigators are still hoping to find a potential witness who drives a red or maroon truck that was spotted in the Ben Hill Road neighborhood the afternoon of June 15th.
The biggest thing is the ladder racks and the white buckets. Means that they do some kind of work, and that vehicle was seen in the area sometime during her disappearance, and we're just wondering if they saw something. They may hold that little piece I was talking about earlier that would blow this thing wide open, let us know where Summer is if they saw something. And we've searched and found so many of them, just not the right one yet.
Sheriff Lawson tells me that if anyone has a credible tip, not a social media rumor or opinion, but something they may have seen near the Beach Creek community that day, to let authorities know.
With the case that had garnered national attention on social media at a standstill, many began to turn to psychics for hope, answers, reassurance, validation, and more. One such psychic is Reverend Donna Seraphina. One of Reverend Donna's recent videos regarding Summer Wells has hit over 47,000 views on YouTube. Donna has completed many readings on other missing persons, such as Gabby Petito and Susan Morphew. She also claims that her psychic readings on Tylee Ryan and JJ Vallow accurately predicted all aspects of the case, as stated in her About section on her YouTube channel. Reverend Donna believes that she has the answers as to what happened to Precious Summer, as well as some of those that are responsible for her disappearance. The graphic details of these readings will be omitted, as they are not based on fact, and there are some very, very strong accusations in the readings. As a creator, I feel that I owe to my audience and to the families involved, including the children, to interpret these to the best of my ability while still being able to leave out horrific details. You can view the full readings on Reverend Donna's YouTube channel, as well as Sweetie Pie Lowe's channel. So what say you? Let's get started. As summer vacation had come to an end in what would be Summer's first year in kindergarten, beginning in just days, a looming CPS investigation and sexual and physical abuse occurring in the home regularly, Dawn and Candace Wells, parents to 4, needed to devise a plan, and fast. A plan that would allow them to avoid charges related to the horrific abuse of their 4 children, Summer and her 3 brothers. At the time, then, a 12-year-old Josie, 11-year-old Wyatt, and 9-year-old Waylon. Donald Wells, the father to Summer Wells, has an extensive arrest record, as well as current alleged sexual assault allegations from his stepsister, stemming from when they were young and lived in their parents' home. And as I tell you this story, Dawn currently sits in the county jail for the next 6 months at a minimum on a probation violation that occurred just months after his daughter went missing when he was arrested for a DUI. Summer's mother, Candace Wells, only appears to have a few minor charges in her past. But I do feel it's important to mention that Mom Candace also previously gave birth to 3 other children. 2 of them were daughters. 2 of the children were taken from her at a young age by Child Protective Services, when she was barely an adult herself. The other daughter, her child born just before Summer, was allegedly given away at birth. She, too, is known to have an extensive alcohol and drug problem. There's also another important family member, and that is Grandma Candace Harrer. No, I didn't misspeak. They really do have the same names. We will call her Grandis. Now, Grandis lives just feet away, on the same property from the Wells children and their parents, in a camper of her own. Grandis isn't just any little sweet grandmother. She's a career criminal, although she's never been charged for anything that we're aware of. She's just never been caught. Grandis is an evil, abusive person hooked on opioids, most likely OxyContin, that abused her own daughter and allowed horrible things to happen to her child as she was growing up. Grandis is just mean as hell, really, and she still sees absolutely nothing wrong with kids being physically abused or sexually assaulted, even if those kids happen to be her own grandchildren. Oh, hold up. Wait, there's more. Did I mention yet that Grandis has another daughter? No? Well, that might be because that daughter went missing as an adult, and that daughter, namely Rosemary Bly, has been missing from Wisconsin since 2009. According to the FBI, Rose was last seen leaving her residence on August 21st, 2009. 5 days later, her vehicle was found in a tractor-trailer parking lot 30 miles from her home. In one of the only times that we have heard from Grandis regarding Summer's disappearance, a written statement released on June 25th, 2021. Harris said, "Bring my grandbaby home. She is a lovely baby, and we are so thankful for everyone looking for her. We yelled and looked for her as much as we could. She's just gone. It's devastating." Back to Ben Hill Road. Summer sleeps in between her parents at night, and Candace knows that Dawn is fixated on his daughter. She lays there and watches it, allows it to happen. She's jealous. Real jealous. So she talks to her mom. Grandis gives her daughter the ultimate way out. One where Candace no longer needs to care for a sassy, wild 5-year-old. One where she doesn't have to worry about Summer going to her first day of kindergarten and spilling deep family secrets. And one where there's no chance for Child Protective Services to find out about the physical and sexual abuse happening to Summer at the hands of her parents. Grandis says to get rid of her. She's Candace's competition, and people pay a pretty penny for that. So the plan is set in motion. The weekend before Summer goes missing, Candace and her 4 kids, along with her mother, head off for a day trip to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. But this isn't just any ordinary family vacation. After all, there's nothing ordinary about this family. What the kids believe is a fun-filled day of rides and treats with Mom and Grandma has actually been prearranged through mutual friends of the parents. Quite possibly Grandma too. You see, this is the day that a whole lot of photos are going to be taken of little Summer. Photos in which she can be seen having fun and portraying an all-American little girl. But these photos are nefarious in nature because there's a man taking them. Not a man that is necessarily with them, but possibly one that is following them around. The man photographing her is deciding if he wants to purchase her. This man resembles the black and white image of Darren Stevens from the old comedy show Bewitched. And the cloud above the wells just got dark. Real dark. Summer Moon Utah Wells is officially for sale. Yes, for sale. Just like she was when she was innocently dancing in the rain in front of that red barrel at her house. Ultimately, the arrangement to purchase her is made between the Darren guy and Candace. It's now the day before Summer is set to start kindergarten. It's also the day before Child Protective Services is allegedly to perform a home check at the Wells residence. On the morning of June 15, 2021, Dawn awakens around 7 a.m. to head out for work at his drywalling job and leaves us sleeping Summer in the family bed. About an hour later, Candace grabs Summer to head to the hospital to pick up Grandis, who allegedly was suffering from a knee injury due to the children kicking her while on their daycation in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Candace leaves the 3 boys at home alone. While in Kingsport, Tennessee, waiting for her mom to be released, Candace picks up a young teenage male friend and they head back to the hospital. After picking Grandma back up, they drive around to various places in town, running errands, but while waiting to get Grandma's medicine, the 3 of them, plus Summer, decide to go to their favorite fishing hole. They spend some time at the fishing hole, about 30 minutes or so allegedly. Mostly, Summer swims a little bit, but they head back out. They then run to the grocery store, pick up Grandma's medicine, and drop off the teenage boy at home around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Grandma, Candace, and Summer head back to Ben Hill Road. There is video of Summer that afternoon in Grandma's truck and almost home. Reverend Donna believes that at this point, Summer had been drugged. They wanted to drug her to make the transition of her being handed over easier for her. When they arrived,
she still got her arm up?
no.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. But she still got her arm up?
No.
Oh, that's what I was trying to catch. But
when they arrive home, Grandma's dropped off. It's at this point that Reverend Donna sees in her reading the following: Tennessee Hills, a gazebo, and a steam train. And since there is a Tennessee Hills brewery, Jonesboro Gazebo Park behind the brewery, and a steam train that goes between them, it's her belief that this is when Summer and Candace head to Jonesboro, about 30 minutes away from their home, and ironically, where Daddy Don is working. And so, to the Darren Stevens look-alike, the parents officially sell their precious 5-year-old daughter into a sex trafficking ring, and the handoff is officially completed. Candace heads home, and a couple hours later, Summer is reported as gone.
Being around for 110 Ben Hill Road off of Beach Creek should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in, advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Reverend Donna feels that Summer was only going to be in this trafficking ring for a couple years, and just until things got back to normal in the home. However, the case became so high profile so quickly that this Darren and his group of at least 3 other people that were present made a decision. With Darren dressed in a costume mask and a top hat, the group knows that they have to rid themselves of this liability, and without an ounce of guilt. In fact, they enjoy it. They enjoy seeing little children hurt in this way. They proceed to make a snuff film starring none other than little Summer Wells. So up until now, that's where our story ends.
The following is really my thoughts on Reverend Donna's readings and a few other things regarding this case. The first thing I'd say is that the locations that she mentions are all pretty easily Google mapped, other than a couple of them. She describes it like a movie. It disregards the footprints and the scent that the dogs tracked. It disregards the fact that TBI went back out to the same area to search again. It assumes that these are 2 masterminds. Bushes, lakes, barns, funeral homes, all those things are everywhere in Northeast Tennessee. The area that she gives is such a widespread area that it makes it really hard to believe. So with that said, I go back and forth on guilt. I can't imagine, I can't even fathom that a child would be expendable to its parent, although I know it happens every day. There's a recent story from a child in Tennessee, and little boy had to keep going to the landlord's house, and he didn't understand why, and while he was going, he was being molested there. Well, come to find out, landlord was giving mom discount off of her rent. Child trafficking is the second highest crime in Tennessee besides drug trafficking, although we do have a lower than nation average for child trafficking. As I drove Candace's route in Kingsport, my husband and I, at the same time, mind you, both looked at each other and said, to come all the way out here, this doesn't make sense. So I have quite a few questions regarding everything, really, just like everybody else. These are a few of my questions. If there were porno images on devices of Dawn's or Candace's, an arrest should have or would have happened by now. After 8 months, if the boys knew or saw something, they would have talked. Yet, no arrest. There's a reason that Sheriff Lawson dismisses the scream heard by Jody Sue. Why? Does he know something we don't? When did Andy tell Jody Sue's daughter that he had seen Summer's body? And where's that info at? Where was it stated that Candace went to church while she was missing? Didn't Allie say that CPS was coming the next day? Is she the only one that said that? They weren't speaking, so how would Allie have known that? The red truck with the ladder rack can't be dismissed. It's confirmed by law enforcement. Why has nobody come forward? Unless there truly is a guilty person out there with a red truck and a ladder rack. Too much blame, I feel, is being placed on Sheriff Lawson for being corrupt, not working with the case, etc. Let's not forget that TBI and FBI are both involved. or that 19 agencies worked this case in the beginning. A local news station stated that the last to see her was her brother's outside. Michelle Walks on YouTube shared a video about that. It's possible that law enforcement is building a much bigger case. However, if there is proof of sexual abuse, arrest would be made to prevent it happening to another child, one would think. Why did she go to the horse pond and not the awesome playground at Warriors Path Park? The temperatures really were not warm enough. Water in Tennessee at that time of year is still pretty chilly. And again, they aren't mastermind criminals. I mean, look at how much Donna's been caught. Candace hasn't had any charges in a very long time. But Don's been caught a lot at the shady things he's done. So I think what makes the most sense to me, although I could be totally wrong, is that she went down to the creek at the bottom of the hill and was taken. So a lot of what Reverend Donna says could very well come to be the truth. I hope that the locations she is given will also provide some insight as to where Summer may be if she is no longer with us, as if she's not, then the little girl deserves nothing more than to be laid to rest in the most proper way we can all possibly give her. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will do a live soon with all the photos and videos, and we can go through it all together. Thank you so much.